Today is Wednesday, 11:46 p.m. It's February 19th, 2025. Many, many years ago, I saw this Clint Eastwood movie called Alcatraz. It's about this guy who goes into prison on the rock, which is essentially Alcatraz. So, the main character, Clint Eastwood, breaks out of breaks out of the prison. Okay, so there was there was three people who uh, took part in escaping from the prison. Two of them made it out because they were able to jump up and grab onto the bars and then move up to the upper area, go on top of the roof, and then climb down, and then use their makeshift rubber tubes to get out. So two of them made it out. Uh, Unfortunately, third guy managed to make up this uh, bust made of toilet paper and painted it to look like somebody using actual hair, and all three of them had that on their bed. But the third guy, he was a little late, and so he attempted to jump up and grab to the bar and get up there, but he just couldn't. He tried and tried and tried and tried. He just gave up, and then he went back into his cell. And the morning came. The two people couldn't wait, so they just left, and they never found them. So when I saw that movie, so when I saw that movie, I wasn't feeling what the third guy was feeling. Okay, I was not feeling it. I was not feeling what the third guy was feeling. Now I feel what the third guy is feeling. Why do I feel it? I feel it because I'm now into the uh, sixth year of being on probation. Okay, as a convicted felon for grand theft, taking advantage of the elderly. The legal system, I think, may probably or somehow anyway, so that's how it turned out. Okay, so those were my parents. So now I'm in it, but it seems like I'm like stagnant. I can't move forward, and old age is creeping in. And YouTube has videos where uh, they talk about people who are 70 years old and it's done. 70 years. 70 years for me is right around the corner. So I feel like I'm like chained up, left behind, and unable to free myself. And uh, add to that, I'm like physically being like declining, and and I just lived my life not knowing what the right thing to do is towards my own family. And because of that, I ended up neglecting my own family. And that's now I feel it. I feel being excluded. And I can see why I'm being excluded. And uh, only had I known what the right thing to do was, but it just never occurred to me. I saw this video of this little bird that just came out of the nest, and the mother would feed this bird worms. Okay, and then all it has to do is open its mouth. So the mother bird would feed the worm to the bird, and the bird, all he has to do is swallow it. But the little bird saw this worm crawling around, and what it does, he couldn't grab it and then swallow it. All it does is it chases the worm and it opens his mouth, expecting the worm to jump into his mouth, right? That's how that is it is amazing, but that is how I lived my life, right? And so now I feel like I've been excluded out of my own stupidity. Okay, so so now I'm at this point where now it's my career. My career is here, and so I have failed four funded accounts. Okay, four funded accounts that I failed, legitimate funded accounts. So I think the first one was I think the first one was it must I think I can't remember specifically. I believe there's four of them. Okay, so two of them was with the FTMO. I think the first one was maybe with the 5K or the 10K, one of those. Maybe it was a 10K. And the second one was, I believe it was a 50K. Okay, and I was able to make $3.15, and then after that, it just crumbled and lost it. So that was my second time. The third time was when I had a 5K with funding traders, and I was up to $157. And I thought, hey, I could just get a payout from this, but I just kept trading, and then it started to decline because of the tilt. And then more recently, uh, this week, I failed my fourth funding traders, 10K. I was up to $187, and when I had that $187, I thought to myself, maybe I should keep going. Maybe I should keep going. But now I'm thinking it may change when I get to the same point, um, because I need to stop at about 200 and then just get the payout, whatever it is. The most important thing is get the payout, because I have other two challenges that I'm doing with some other prop firms. And so the idea is to get a payout. But because I failed four times, a funded account, I failed funded account four times. The first one I don't remember. It's difficult to recollect, but I believe there's four. Okay, three or four, probably four. I believe it's four. I gotta double check, but it's probably four. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I did have one for funding pips. I believe I was funded with the funding pips somewhere there too. So it must have been like four of them, four somewhere around there. And so I failed. So it's like me, like that guy in prison, to escape Alcatraz, jumping up and down to grab onto that bar, but I would fail and fail and fail. And I would see that other people have succeeded. They're moving on. They're making money. They're uh, all the while they're holding on to a uh, professional job that has insurance and lucrative paychecks, that is able to afford a house, of be able to afford the luxuries on top of the basic essentials, and trading is essentially on top of what they already have. So these people to me are those people who have already jumped onto the roof, inflated their rubber raft, and have departed Alcatraz. But for me, I'm still languishing in this situation. I thought I had it. I thought I had this trading thing down last week. I thought I had it because I was consistent for 1 month to obtain 10%, and then I took me 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, I think, to get 5%. So I was able to get 15% and pass two phases, and also I was able to get $187 in payout, in a funded account before catastrophe hit. So I thought it was it. But now I'm feeling, I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling that I feel like that guy that crawled out of the cell, but was unable to grab onto that bar to escape Alcatraz and join with the other people. They're far gone. They have freed themselves. They're probably living a luxurious life outside of that hard rock. And I feel at this stage, after 4 years now, going on my fifth year, uh, trying to get this thing to work. Okay, that's what I feel right now. Okay, that's what I feel right now. I feel like that guy in Alcatraz, the third guy who was unable to jump up and grab that bar, pull myself up through those bars to get to the roof, climb down, inflate the rubber raft, and then depart Alcatraz. I feel like that third guy. When I first saw that movie, I had no idea. Now I'm recording. I'm making a recording of this. So eventually, one of these days, I don't know if it's going to happen like this year or next year or the following year, but I have another almost 5 more years as a convicted felon on a probation, and so there's absolutely nothing in America that I can actually do on a legitimate basis as I attempt to be as honest as possible in a situation where possibly that I could obtain employment in a professional setting, then I have to disclose that I am indeed have a conviction, a felony conviction. So apparently when a judge asked me as part of the sentencing, it says, "Do you know what a felony is?" And a few days ago, I thought to myself, apparently a misdemeanor is like apparently the distinction between a misdemeanor and a felony is apparently it's it's a it is a misdemeanor is a juvenile kind of a offense. It is a minor offense. There is no intent. There's no criminal uh, angst in it. It is just a misdemeanor. But apparently, now that I'm exploring it and people look at it, the court system has declared someone a felon, meaning that that individual has a serious, serious criminal intent, which translates into his behavior in social setting. And while I was being sentenced, one person who was sitting there was getting off that probation, and the judge spoke to this person and says, "Now that you have finished your probation, you are no longer a threat to society." Okay, so that's the distinction between a misdemeanor and a felon. Misdemeanor is not a threat to society. It is just a misdemeanor. It is a minor offense. But a felon is this single sentence threat to society. Felons and above are a threat to society. Misdemeanor is not. That is the distinction between it. When the judge asked me, "Do you know what it is?" I had no idea, but I had to say something. I said, I couldn't say that I don't know because I'm agreeing to it. I'm agreeing to, I'm agreeing to, uh, I am agreeing to the, um, the conviction. And so I couldn't say that I didn't know what it was, but truly I didn't know what it was, but I had to say it. I had to say, "Hey, I know what I'm agreeing to." And I think that's what the judge was talking about. I don't know. But anyway, so I feel like everyone has moved on. When I look at these YouTube videos, there's quite a few people who are successful, and I can see it. I can, I can see how they're successful, and they made it. They crossed it over. The distinction between them and myself is just the cerebral part, the knowledge and the experience. So those are the people who climbed up through those bars and escaped Alcatraz, and they're living a glorious and glamorous life. But for me, I'm that third guy that is still stuck there in a uh, maximum security setting. And I can feel it. I can feel what he feels. Okay, I have to get this off my chest. This is like this is a journey that I need to. This is the journey that I need to record, so that I can look back and say, hey, this is what I went through. I went through it. I heard from professionals, many professionals who says they wanted to quit. They want to move on, do something else. Some of them quit and then come back. Okay, so it's just right now I'm on this journey where they have already crossed. But for me, I have no choice. But I do feel, but there is no choice in feeling what I'm feeling uh, in this journey to become a profitable trader. I've already strategized. I've already plotted out the consequences of the benefits of being a profitable trader. I laid out the groundwork, but I'm still at the first floor, the 10K. The 10K is the first floor of trading. It's the first floor. Okay, it's 12 o'clock. European market is open. Um, so I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I have a better chance now because I've already proven it with the uh, previous funded account. And when I am funded with this next one, then I have a higher chance with a fresher mind of what I need to do when after I get funded. But right now, it feels like I am incarcerated in Alcatraz.